YOLO dope people of YouTube. So today I'm gonna ask you guys a weird question, right? When is it okay to be racist? And I have an answer to this question, right? So I had a friend that was extremely short-tempered. I don't think I've ever known anyone that was as short-tempered as this friend of mine. And he was a friend of mine since my early teens, And he was a sportsman. This dude was into fighting, was into wrestling, all this stuff, man. Cauliflowered eared. This guy had like all kinds of medals, whatever, right? But the point is, this homie was extremely short-tempered. Like, to a degree, it was a problem. Like a serious problem I think he had to deal with eventually in his lifetime. And I think that short temper put an end to our relationship to a certain degree. But I remember this guy would act erratic over situations that didn't call for it, right? I've seen this guy do some wild shit, and I mean, all the homies did wild shit, including me, so I can't really fault them for that part. But that's just because of the time and place we grew up. But in terms of racism, right? So this friend of mine, he really wasn't a racist person. Not at all. None of my friends were racist. We all grew up multicultural. We had friends from all kinds of backgrounds. We had enemies from all kinds of backgrounds. We had girlfriends from all kinds of backgrounds. So we didn't really give a shit as long as you came with respect and you came with a certain integrity. You were good, right? As long as your name was good and you were solid, then you were cool, right? But this homie used to always get into it with people, right? And I remember one time, man, we were just in a fast food restaurant, and there was this black dude, right? And this dude just happened to stare at him 1 or 2 seconds longer than was normal, and immediately he just went from 0 to 100. The fuck are you looking at? Whoop-de-whoop, right? And everything's just blowing up. And my homie straight turns around to this guy because he's trying to entice him to get into it with him. Because he just liked fighting people, man. He just enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? So he turned around to him and he straight called him a nigger. Not like my nigga, not nigga this, and my homie didn't talk like that in private, in public. That wasn't the word he used. It was just because this dude was black and because he wanted to get into it with them, he straight called them a piece of shit nigger and whoop-de-whoop. And there was this black woman that was in line. I'm talking about, like, she was like a woman, like church going. You can see this was like a proper woman. You know what I'm saying? And her immediate reaction was like just gasping, like, like, oh my God, like, did he just say this, right? And I knew exactly what my friend was doing, but I looked at her, and it's the weirdest thing, man. You know how we can like communicate physically, not just verbally, but we have like a physical language we speak as human beings, right? And I looked at this woman like, why are you offended, right? Like, and she completely understood me instantly. Like, this was not a racist thing. It had nothing to do with you, lady. All the respect to you. You know what I'm saying? As a woman, as a black woman, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with this dude. And I'm just watching the homie just get into it, because I already know what the homie can do. He's about to mop this fool up. You know what I'm saying? Bigger than him, smaller than him, it didn't matter. This homie knew his shit. He was gonna mop this dude up. And this dude didn't budge to what he said. He just continued verbally with them, right? With my homie, continued verbally with my friend. And my friend's like, man, you're a bitch ass motherfucker. I just called you a nigger and you didn't even fucking say or do anything, homie. Like, the fuck you looking at? Turn your ass around and look the other fucking way. Whoop-de-whoop. And he's just going ham on this dude, right? And this was the moment that it really made me consider what racism is, because I've experienced racism. My friend that said that, he's experienced racism. The way we grew up, it was not uncommon to deal with racism at one point or another. But this was a different scenario completely. What this was I want to beat the fucking shit out of you. And I am going to beat the shit out of you. So if I'm willing to completely fuck your ass up, and you might go to the hospital, you might not go to the hospital, you might get seriously injured, you might not. But the point is, I'm willing to go there and do that to you. Physically break you. So why wouldn't I call you something that I'm assuming out of assumption, right? Full assumption. Why wouldn't I use a word that I think is gonna get under your fucking skin? That's gonna belittle you, right? I might say, man, I fucked your mom, I fucked your fucking girlfriend, I hope your kids die of some fucking cancer, whatever the fuck. I hope your canary gets fucking chokes on a seed. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say anything and everything that I think is gonna fucking emotionally hurt you too, right? It only makes sense. Because if I'm gonna physically try to demolish you, why wouldn't I also emotionally demolish you at the same fucking time? And that look I gave to that lady, she completely understood and stepped to the side, and it was like me and her were just like on fucking Jerry Springer, just part of the fucking show. She instantly like understood what my look said to her, like, you know, and like I'm standing right next to her, and we're just like fucking this some Jerry Springer shit. We're just gonna watch the fucking excitement go down. And yeah, the homie did mop this dude up, you know, and the lady had no problem with it, you know, because my homie kept telling him, like, motherfucker, you gonna stare at me like I'm a fucking bitch or some shit, like you into me or something, whoop-de-whoop, you know, like, motherfucker, like, and he straight fucking bashed this dude. And we're probably like fucking 18, 19, 20 at this time. The black dude was probably like just maybe 2-3 years older than us or something, but I don't even think it was something the black dude, the homie just had fucking temper issues, man. Like, I couldn't go nowhere with this homie. It didn't matter if he was with his girlfriend, it didn't matter if he was with his family. Like, his family wouldn't go out with him. You know what I'm saying? He was just that short-tempered. It would take something that the average person might just, you know, take a glance at and look away. But that was enough for this homie to like lose his shit and completely, and I'm talking about he would completely throw out the window all consideration of his safety, of his freedom, of the freedom and safety of the people around him. It didn't matter the scenario. He could have been amongst 50 people or nobody. It could have been a cop in the or a bunch of cops around them or no cops. Like, he gave the same fucking reaction. his temper took complete fucking control of his choices and decisions. And I kind of felt bad after, like, you know, you reach a certain point in your life, man. Like, I kind of felt bad for him in a way, you know, because it was like, it wasn't normal. It wasn't like someone was disrespecting you, or it was unnormal. It was like uncalled for, unnormal. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen a lot of wild shit that's uncalled for. But this was like just consistent, routine, unnormal. It was like, you know, all the homies, we used to kick it every fucking day. We used to meet up somewhere, man. And if he was home and he just needed to literally hit the freeway, exit the freeway, and he was by us in like 5 minutes. Somehow he got into it with like 3 people, middle of the fucking night on an empty road. Like, how did you manage to fucking hit someone with your car, get out, break someone's window, slap someone, and make it to us in 5 minutes? How is this fucking possible, bro? This isn't normal shit. This is like every fucking day. You know? And it was just fucking wild, man. It was just wild. So, to answer the question, that's the only time I think racism is okay. If I am going to physically hurt you, I'm gonna emotionally hurt you as well. Other than that, I'm not with that racism shit. Not in my public life, private life, not when I'm in public, not even online, man. Even online, I'm not racist, and I never have been. You know, like, people might say racist shit to me, and I'll just fucking go ham on them and just break them down. You know, like piece by piece, just everything they're saying, I'll just flip it. You know, like, I'm good with my words. I'll fucking break, especially if I'm typing. My typing skills in terms of my verbiage is off the charts. I'll fucking break you down verbally, just typing. You know what I'm saying? But I try as hard as I can to carry myself online as I would offline, because it's like, I'm not a keyboard warrior. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to get into it with people over the fucking internet. I don't know who you are, where you're from, what you look like. For all I know, man, you might be a dude pretending to be a female. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be old, you might be young. Like, I'm not gonna, just because I'm behind the screen, carry myself different. Or if I'm with my friends, I'm gonna carry myself like, oh, suddenly I have bravado, or I have juice. Oh, you know, the homies are with me. Like, no, I'm gonna carry myself exactly the same way I would. And I always was like this, where like I could be with like 5-10 friends. I'm gonna carry myself identically. And I'll give you a perfect example of this. I'm with this exact same friend. He's with he's not. He's with me, and we have another homie. So it's the 3 of us, and we're just getting some fast food. And in line is 2 Hispanic dudes, you know, and they're dressed up pretty nice, like decent, you know, like they got their brand new shiny J's on, they got their new jeans, and they're with 2 chicks. They're like on some date type of shit, like double dating type of shit. And one of these dudes, again, happens to look at the homie half a second too long, and the homie straight, and mind you, we got like 5 friends outside the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? And the homie just, what the fuck you looking at, man? Fuck you, and this, and it's getting into it. And I see these guys, they genuinely want to get into it, but they also realize we're deep. Like, we're 3 people in here. You're with 2 of your girls. There's 2 of you, and there's at least 5 of us outside. There is no way this situation is ending up good for you guys. So I could see they want to get into it, but they're being hesitant. You know what I'm saying? And I see the homies go back and forth with them a little bit. And I put my arm out, like, you know, to my homie's chest, and I like kick back, you know? And I said, hey homie, like, I could see the two of you are with your chicks, you know? And don't worry about it, man. My homie just didn't like the way you just happened to be staring a little longer than he felt you should be. But don't worry about it, man. You're with your girls. You guys do your thing. You guys get a pass. Forget this happened. Unless you want to take it somewhere it doesn't need to go. Because you're with your girls. It's up to you. Bygones be bygones. You guys cool? They're like, yeah, man, we're cool. I was like, all right, cool. And I turned to my homie, and in our language, I told him, hey, dog, like, you're hot. You know, just what do you want to order, man? Like, order your shit. Just go outside and kick it with the homies or whatever. You know, like, they're with their girls, let them be and shit. And the homie listened, like, because I was really, I was me. I was always consistent, you know, and I didn't like bullshit. So, like I said it as is, like, hey, dog, you're a little hot, you know? Fucking just go kick it with the homies. I got this. Don't trip, you know? If they act up on me, come and smash them. Fuck it. And, you know, he went outside and that was that. But my point is, like, there's a lot of people where they'll think, like, oh, fuck, you know, we're like 10 homies deep, like, and they're with their girls, like, all right, fuck it, you know, we'll just stomp someone out. And it's like, nah, man, like, that's not, like, I can't go to anybody and say, I stomped 2 dudes out with 8 other homies and feel good about myself, or feel masculine, or feel like a man. On the contrary, I'm gonna feel like kind of like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took 8 of us to stomp 2 dudes out. Like, that's where your common sense is at. You couldn't give them a pass. You couldn't give them a one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't as if these people just came and like, fuck you and fuck you guys. It was none of that. You know what I'm saying? It was just, people are in line. They're gonna look somewhere. They're gonna look at you. They're gonna look, you know, you can make anything into a fucking problem. So, I don't know, man. I've always been that person where it's like, I'm me no matter where I am or who I'm with. And I'm trying to be an adult the large majority of time. But to go back to the racism thing, that's the only time I think it's okay to be racist. When you're about to put hands on someone, or you are putting hands on someone. And you can only be racist to that individual at that point in time. And it's acceptable in my mind. Other than that, it's not. I don't care if you're black and you're saying some shit. I don't care if you're Asian and saying some shit. I don't care if you're white, yellow, blue, green, purple. I don't deal with that racism shit. I don't like it. You're a racist no matter what if you just walk around with racist shit coming out of your mouth. Privately, publicly, online, offline. If that's how you carry yourself consistently, you're just a piece of shit. That's my 2 cents. Solo Yolo Bolo. You guys have a nice day. Peace.